boys and girls, for this assignment, you are going to practice showing one more than a number, one less than a number, 10 more than a number, and 10 less than a number. And so you will just need to have your dry erase board and your marker with you. And so if you want to grab those things and hit pause, and then when you're ready, you can hit play. All right, so we're going to focus on what we see right here in the middle of our screen. We're not worrying about these blocks out to the side. We're focusing on the number right here in the middle. So if I look here, I've got 10, 20, 21. So the number I'm starting with is 21. So I'm going to put that here just so we remember. Two groups of 10 and a 1. 10, 20, 21. Now if I want to know one more, just one more, I am going to bring over one more cube. Not 10 more, one more. And I'm going to figure out what one more is. So go ahead and let's count these. 10, 20, I'm sorry, my slide keeps going to the wrong one. 10, 20, 21, and here's the extra one that I added, the one more, 22. So one more would be 22. Okay, now I'm going to reset back to my 21, so I'm going to move this back over here. I have 21. Now I want one less. That means I need to take away this one. So I'm going to take this one away. Now think about what I have. 10, 20. So one less would be 20. Okay. I'm going to reset this back to 21 because this is the number we started with. And now I want 10 more. So I'm not going to take a 1, I'm going to take a 10. I'm just using the yellow ones so that you can see that that's the one we're adding. So there's 10 more. So now I have 10, 20, 30, 31. So 10 more be 31. Before I do anything else, I need to reset it back to 21. So I'm back to 21. And now I need 10 less. So if I'm doing 10 less, that means I need to take away the 10. And so look to see what we have here now. 10, 11. So 10 less would be 11. And there's my original number again. So we're going to go through together, and we are going to do a couple of examples where you practice writing on your board with me. All right, so here's our next number. So see if you can count what you see right here in the center and see if you can figure out what number it is that we are starting with. And write that number on your board. Okay, and so you should have come up with 10, 20, 30, stop, 31. We're starting with the number 31. So you can go ahead and erase the number 31. And now we're thinking of one more, not 10 more, but just one more. So I'm going to use the yellow. I'm going to drag one more over. And now we're going to count and write on your board the number that would be one more. So count those cubes. If you want to pause to give yourself some time to count them, go ahead and count and write your number. And you should have counted 10, 20, 30, 31, and 32. So one more would be 32. Okay. Now before I do anything else, I need to reset back to my number 31. Now I want to do one less. So that means I need to take away just a 1. And go ahead and count to see what one less than 31 is. Count what you have right here. And go ahead and write that number on your board. And you should have counted 10, 20, 30. So one less than 31 would be 30. Okay, before I do anything else, I need to set back to my original number, which was 31. Okay, and now think, I want to add 10 more, not one more. I want to add 10 more. So I'm going to drag a 10 and add a 10. Okay, go ahead and count to see if you can figure out what 10 more is. and go ahead and write it on your board. You should have counted 10, 20, 30, 40, stop, 41. So 10 more than 31 would be 41. Okay, I've got to set it back to 31 before I do anything else. So I'm back to my original number. 10 less. So I need to take away a 10. So now I have 10 less than what I started with. Go ahead and count and write the number on your board that you see. 10, 20, stop, 21. Okay, so we started with 31 and we figured out one more, one less, 10 more, 10 less. Okay, we're going to do 2 more examples. So here's our starting number. See if you can figure out our starting number. You can write it on your board. And our starting number is 10, stop, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we're always going to go back to 14. One more. So think, am I adding 10 more or one more? So I'm adding one more. Okay, so think you had 14, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and now you're adding one more. So erase your board and go ahead and figure out what one more would be and write that on your board. You should have come up with 15. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Remember, before I figure out anything else, I need to reset back to my number 14. Now one less, not 10 less, but one less. So I'm going to take away, well, not 10 less. If I take that away, that means I'm taking away 10. I'm taking away one less. Okay, so now I'm going to count. 10, stop, 11, 12, and 13. So one less would be 13. Okay, I've got to set it back to my original number, which was 14. Okay, 10 more, not one more, 10 more. So I'm going to put 10 more. Okay, go ahead and count and see what you think you have when you add 10 more to 14. Okay, 10, 20, stop, 21, 22, 23, 24. So when I add 10 more to 14, I get 24. I've got to reset back to 14. 10 less. So I'm not going to take away a 1, I'm taking away a 10. And count to see what you have. And you should have counted 1, 2, 3, 4. So 10 less than 14 would be the number 4. So we're going to do one more. Remember, you can be writing the answers on your board as we go along. So go ahead and let's count to see what number we're starting with. Okay, and so you should have put 10, 20, 30, stop, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. So that's our starting number. So one more. So let's add one more. So we had 35. And we added one more. So remember, go ahead and pause if you need to. Figure out what one more is. Okay, and you should come up with 10, 20, 30. Stop. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36. Okay, before I do anything else, I need to reset back to 35. One less. So we need to take away 1 cube. Okay, go ahead and figure out how much we have once we took away 1 cube to make it 1 less. Okay, you should have come up with 34. 1 less than 35 would be 34. 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, and 34. Remember, I always have to reset back to my original number, which was 35. 10 more. So I'm not going to grab a 1, I'm going to grab a 10. 10 more. Okay, count. Pause if you need to. 10, 20, 30, 40. Stop. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. So 10 more than 35 is 45. I have to reset back to my original number of 35. And now I can do my 10 less. So I'm not taking away 1, I'm taking away 10 because I want 10 less. Okay, and so go back and count. I'm doing 10 less than 35. So 10, 20, stop, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. So 10 less than 35 would be 25.